The world is changing in education and in the workplace. Tony Wagner, author of Most Likely to Succeed, Preparing Our Kids for the Innovation Era, believes there is no longer a set formula that will allow someone to find success. And in response to a question about what it takes to find success, he recommends a balance of hard work and socializing, with a little more emphasis on socializing, and knowing thyself. Mr. Wagner goes on to say that the world doesn't care what you know. What the world cares about is what you do with what you know. According to the International Center for Leadership in Education, if you can write an algorithm for a task, the job is gone. In our changing employment landscape, traditional education has some shortcomings. Traditional education separates the disciplines. Real life doesn't. Traditional education focuses on teaching and assessing things that are easily measured instead of what is most important. Traditional education prepares students for the most recent past instead of the near future. The CSS solution is to take a deeper, more holistic approach to teaching. We have adapted a list of 21st century capacities from the National Association of Independent Schools. These form the foundation of student digital portfolios and permeate through our educational program. Many of them are a bit messy and not easily quantified. They span across multiple disciplines. All of them focus on the skills and attitudes needed in today's workplace. Most of them are critical in an innovative environment. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, with approximately 300 member countries, breaks the individual skills for innovation into 3 domains. Subject-based skills. Traditional education does a pretty good job here. Behavioral and social skills. Soft skills like character and leadership. And skills in thinking and creativity. Interdisciplinary connections, imagination, critical thinking, and out-of-the-box thinking. Subject knowledge is important, and research indicates that a subject area knowledge is a necessary foundation for critical thinking. We help students build soft skills through interactive and cooperative work, including peer feedback. Teachers help students focus on stepwise improvement and encourage students to try new things as they help students develop a T-shaped profile with a broad exposure and a deep dive on skill capacities and various subjects. As mentioned earlier, innovation is messy. We foster a supportive student and staff culture to encourage risk-taking, encourage students to look for multiple and novel approaches to problems, and to strive to provide students with safe places to fail by building in iterative processes and projects and even in daily work. Innovative practices start early in children's school. Open-ended exploration in pre-kindergarten and kindergarten feeds into Wonder Quest in first and second grades. Later in children's school, students write and vote on legislative bills, conduct their own independent study connected to service learning. In middle school, students research and design their own Living History Day reenactments, design and build marble runs, create civilization projects, and use green screen and teleprompters to create their own weather reports. In upper school, students frequently debate, conduct town hall meetings, apply diverse math skills to the calendar game, and do independent biological research. The senior year now culminates in a senior capstone for every 12th grade student. So far, we've looked at innovation in a broad context, from a low-tech or no-tech perspective. This is important stuff. However, we're now going to shift gears and focus on the STEM aspects of innovation at CSS. Science, technology, engineering, and math. The job market in STEM fields is expanding and is projected to continue expanding. Some of the best paid jobs are in STEM fields. You'll notice that some of the same hard and soft skills we saw earlier also apply to STEM. The importance of critical thinking and personal skills is ubiquitous. CSS STEM has several facets. The science curriculum, the computer science curriculum, seminar programs, and extracurriculars, and the innovation lab. At the upper school level, science is rigorous, diverse, and hands-on. In addition to 4 advanced placement options, there are semester elective courses and interdisciplinary projects happen between math, science, humanities, and the arts classes. For example, Here, a CSS student is conducting a cold pressure test in psychology class. This year is a transition year in middle school science. We are transitioning from a primarily content-focused curriculum to a skills-focused curriculum. In order to better match developmental stages of students with these skills and to facilitate stronger math-science connections each year, we're changing the order in which topics are taught. Students have been designing and building roller coaster type constructs, circuits, underwater rovers, and trebuchets. Students will see more of this type of engineering along with experimental science. On the horizon, we'll also begin a review of children's school themes as we examine current and future relevance, developmental appropriateness, and an optimal balance between knowledge and skills, sequencing of the curriculum, and connectivity with other disciplines. Here we see kindergartners exploring the bat cave. These types of exploratory and immersive activities will not go away. This is the computer science curriculum. The table outlines the progression from kindergarten through 12th grade. We start with logical and computational thinking and sequencing in kindergarten through 2nd. In 3rd through 5th, drag and drop programming takes over with Lego robots and code modification using Arduino circuit boards. Middle school students focus on programming using Python. And in the upper school, we have an introduction course in computer sciences that looks at hardware, networking, and programming, and a computer principles advanced placements course will be offered this coming year. Here we have kids sequencing, working on stepwise linear thinking, and then we have robotics in the children's school. Here we have Python programming at the middle school level. And students in this picture are engaged in the Introduction to Computer Science course. Our middle school seminars have a STEM category. Here are the STEM courses for last year and this year. These are pictures of students in the Hackerspace seminar. At the upper school level, we continue the STEM thread through the ECS program. These are pictures of students in the ECS entitled The World at Work, How Engineers and Entrepreneurs Solve Problems, in which students designed from scratch and then constructed their own bridges. STEM ECS offerings last year and this year are varied, covering topics from the engineering side to the technical and research sides. Here are some pictures from last year's Space Exploration ECS, which looked at the aerospace engineering industry with a couple significant hands-on components. Students use computer modeling to design model rockets and to build them and to test different aspects of their flight. And they did this as they honed in on last year's Team America Rocket Challenge criteria. Students also design and build payloads to be launched into near space on a high-altitude balloon. The balloon was tracked via ham radio and retrieved about 50 miles from the launch site. Payloads were collected and data was downloaded and analyzed, including this picture of our payload string taken from about 86,000 feet above the Earth. We have an innovation lab located in the upper school building with 3D printers, workstations, electronics equipment, and even the school's own ham radio station. The upper school robotics team competes in VEX competitions and tinkers with stuff. One of the new things they can now tinker with includes a virtual reality setup. Along with 9 other schools, CSS has partnered with Google to explore educational applications for virtual reality. If this presentation has sparked any questions or thoughts, please share them with Eric Gaylord, your division lead, or Andrew Julian, our tech integrator.